How's it going, guys? Dark Shigong here, gaming on the dark side, coming at you with another video. This week we're going to be covering the self-created one, the Raw Reskill. Definitely made a mistake on this one, man. I was completely wrong. I mean, dude, listen to Jonathan Frakes. He's going to tell me how wrong I was like 5 times in a row at least.
Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened.
Yeah, number one. I understand. Yes, I was wrong, guys. I thought this was going to be Athena, but nope, it is Raw. How the heck they decided to jump into the Egyptians makes no sense to me right now, but it is what it is, and this is what we got to work with. So let's go ahead and cover this event and see what we got. Well, the event's already started, and we already know that we got Raw in here. We're also going to have the 5-star Golden Relic Actaeon's Arms. It's for the Guardians, and there is, well, they said it was a Synergy Relic. You can even see it marked up here, Synergy Relic, 4-star Synergy Relic. However, it is not. They changed it. Check out their stealth edit. It's now a Combat Relic. I don't know how that's any different than a regular relic, but okay, we'll go with it. Now, we'll cover this a little bit later on, but let's keep on going to the event here and see what we got to work with, man. The blog post was a mess. They went there and changed it. They had the wrong dates, all this other stuff. You guys saw it, but they did update it, so we got better information now. So as we already know, the event is happening now on September. It's not happening back in August. That was on the blog. Here's the milestone reward track. They didn't change anything on that, at least. It is a Finish Plus. You can see it's 30,000 souls to go all the way to the Golden 5-star. We do get 3 4-star Titans in here. You're going to get Wadjet, you're going to get Tarhuns, and you're going to get Ra, which they're all Pantheon Titans, so that's pretty cool in that respect. You can see right here in the middle, I got my Gaming on the Dark Side milestone markers. These are the ones that I feel, from a grinder's perspective, if you were going to be grinding these out, these are kind of like your points of interest, right? You got your tokens, you got Wadjet for the, I don't know how to pronounce that, Scarab unit. You got the Tarhuns for the Dragon Slayer Pantheon, and you got Ra for the Egyptian Amulet, and of course you got Actaeon's Arms. Like I said, I'm not even going to talk about the Axe of Ptah and all, because it's just a combat relic now. It's no longer a synergy relic, so who cares? Alright, let's see what else we got going on. Now, since I want to do more of an overview of the event, I want to get really into the 5-star relic here, because I want to kind of delve into this, because if you're going to go all the way through, you want to see, is it really worth it, right? So the Golden 5-star relic is Actaeon's Arms. It's got 30% all troop, resist all damage, 2 times in defense, 70% Titan and all troop armor, and on enemy summon or corrupted call, you're going to increase troop armor by 8%. Now, when it says all damage for our newer players, it does not actually mean all damage. What it really means is all elemental damage. It doesn't cover for ranged or melee or anything else like that. It's just the elemental stuff. I don't know why they leave that wording in there. It's been that way for a long time. I wish they would change that. Now, I do have the pictures of the other 5-star Guardian relics up here. You have the Dragon Slayer, right? You got Spherd Oak Scold, you got the Amber of Rostam, you got the Beetle Guard, and of course we have the brand new Stalwart Rook. Now, what I want to do is kind of take a side-by-side comparison of their what they do and what they have to offer, and that way you can make more of an educated decision on whether or not this is really worth going all the way in a Finish Plus for 30,000 souls, because that's no joke of a grind at all. So here we go. Let's check out our list here. We got our 5-star relics side by side with each other. Starting from the Dragon Slayer, going to the Spherd, Actaeon Arms, Amber Rostam, Beetle's Guard, and Stalwart Rook. So basically in the order of they got released. Now you can see that some of them have 3 skills and some of them have a special effect. The only one that has 3 skills and a special effect together would be Stalwart Rook. I really don't count the Spherd Oak Scold because the synergy just for Valkyrie. So unless you're using Valkyrie, it doesn't really matter, right? So I want you guys to be able to look at this, because it's dependent on what you want to do with your Guardian. Now, there are some attacking style Guardians, right? You got someone like Achilles. I know he's not the top of this, tip of the spear type attacker, but he is an attacking Titan. Some people do use their Rostam to attack with. and all that. But then other than that, for the most part, you're using your Guardians typically for defense, right? They're defensive style Titans, so that's why most of the relics, they give you extra benefit when it's on defense, especially the 2 times the defense, like Action Arms, Stalwart Rook does it, so does Beetle Guard, and all that. So I'm not going to go over every one of these things. Feel free to pause it and take a look at the screen here, and then make a, like I said, make an educated decision on whether or not the Action Arms, out of all the 5-star relics, if you have a choice, if maybe you already have one of them and you're thinking, is this really worth going for or not? In my case, I really don't have a lot of Guardian Titans to begin with, and the few that I have like 3 Achilles, but I use them for like land defenders, right? I really don't use them for much. I mean, but I really don't see the reason why I would get an Action Arms from one of them. It's just not for 30,000 souls. Nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen at all. But yeah, so you guys go ahead and check this out. Hopefully this list helps you see it in a different format than just the pictures and all that stuff. Okay, now it's time for the Raw review. Had to pull the WWE logo there, man. Thought it fit pretty well for our Raw review here. So we're gonna start off by looking at kind of an overview of the original versus the new version of Raw. So you can see back in the day, the original Raw here had those X skills, right? And they were, well, obviously pretty easy to read here. They really didn't do much. You had a mixture of Horde and Grenadier. You had a Horde meat shield, with the Grenadiers being kind of the focus for his power. He did something interesting with his meteor spells. He got more meteors in the meteor strike, and it brought the radius of it down, so it made it to where they weren't like so all over the place like how meteor spells are. Now compare that to the brand new Raw. You can see the skills are, well, infinitely more complex. There's a lot more going on, just like all the current Titans, right? I mean, there's just so much happening in the skills. You almost need a magnifying glass to read it. So that's just kind of a quick little overview right there. I'll be breaking down the numbers a little bit deeper here in a second. But before I do that, let's discuss the skills of this new Raw. So his first skill is called Invoke Corrupted Suns. It's going to give you 180% Titan and Troop health, 60% base Titan and Grenadier damage. Plus, at the start of the battle, you're going to get 5 of those Corrupted Grenadiers, which are kind of like more of a melee-based version of them. However, they still do have a shorter range, so they can toss out fireballs as well, which helps. Now, the second skill is called Sphinx's Hymn. It's going to give you 44% Titan critical, 200% Titan and Troop armor piercing 2 times on defense, 300% Titan and Troop health 2 times on defense. Third skill's Invoke. It's an Invoke skill, Eye of Ra, 44% Troop critical, 30% Titan and Troop melee resist. And on allied death, you're going to call 3 Grenadiers in the reinforcement zone, max of 5 times, right? So that's, well, shoot, 15 Grenadier units out there, not too bad. Then you're going to get Flames of Heliopolis. It's 30% Titan and Troop range resist, 250% Titan and Troop fire damage 2 times on defense, 300% Titan and Troop armor 2 times on defense. Not bad. And the last Invoke skill for the 5th one there, 40% Titan and Troop all elemental resist, 500% all fire spells damage, that's your meteors and your fireballs. And on allied death, you're going to get 100% Titan and Troop armor, a max of 5 times. That's another 500 armor, which is very helpful. Alright, so in total on defense, you'll have about 1100% armor. Like I said, we'll break that down here after we take a look at the updated prestige skills. Now, the updated prestige skill is called Divine Radiance. Now, at level 10, you're going to get 110% base Titan and Grenadier damage and health. At Prestige Level 1, you're going to unlock on Allied Death, cast a Fireball on 8 enemies, a max of 5 times, so those will be all over the place, right? At Prestige Level 4, on Corrupted Grenadier Death, you'll get minus 10% enemy fire and range resist, a max of 5 times. And that's going to be over the entire field, so that's a total of 50% on reduction in the range resist and fire resist. That's actually pretty nice. Now, at Prestige Level 7, on the Corrupted Grenadier Death, you'll call another Corrupted Grenadier, just to kind of get extra more meat shields out there. That helps a lot since Grenadiers are so squishy. Your regular ones. You need those meat shields. Now, unlocked for Prestige Level 10, on Corrupted Grenadier Death, it's going to put a death timer on a random enemy. So that could be even on the Titan, I think, which is pretty cool. So I'm assuming that's probably going to work a lot like the extra prestige skill on one of the new divine relics. You'll also get an extra 100% Titan and Troop fire damage, a max of 5 times, another 500% fire damage. I wish that was armor instead. We'll talk about that more here because we're gonna move into a kind of a breakdown now of how all the numbers work between the old Raw and the new Raw. Now, by comparison, man, the original Raw is this tiny little wimpy puppy, and the new Raw is definitely buffed out, but is he buffed enough? You can see a side-by-side comparison here. I've got the Raw skill comparison by the numbers on defense, including a Prestige P10. So let's start off looking at the Titan itself. You can see here in white, I have the Titan skills, and in red, I have the new Titan skills. There's a massive difference in the amount of buffs the Titan is getting from the skills. I mean, it's just insanely different and insanely more powerful. Now, when I look at the troops, I'm focusing just on the Grenadiers because, yes, granted, the old Raw buffed Horde and Grenadiers. The Horde with a meat shield. The new Raw doesn't. It's all about the Grenadiers because you're using those corrupted Grenadiers as your meat shield. And that's all that's really going to matter for this comparison. And once again, you can see there is a massive difference in health, definitely in freaking armor, which is important, obviously, right? Your troops' range resists are about the same. Those are the same. I mean, they're better, I should say, and all that. And then you can look at the damage here, man, is crazy better. And, I mean, they got way more armor piercing, which helps, and troop critical. I mean, obviously, we're talking about a defensive Titan, but you still want to be pumping out enough damage to be killing the enemy's units so that your guy can last longer and hopefully get you a green, or if anything, eat up that clock and cause them to have to gem their troops if they're constantly attacking you. That's kind of the goal of your attacker. So just remember, the old Raw had a meat shield and Horde. Now we're doing just corrupted Grenadiers and regular Grenadiers. So some of his old relics might not translate over if they were also buffing Horde. You don't need Horde at all for your brand new Raw. Another factor you want to take into consideration when you're looking whether or not you want to get this new Raw compared to an old Raw if you already have one is looking at the Prestige. It's totally different. Right, here's the original Prestige for Raw. It was called Limited Armor. Now, this was really focused more on your Horde as your, like I said, once again, as the meat shield and your Grenadiers. It was interesting, right? Because you look at P1 here, you had 70% Grenadier damage and 100% extra Horde armor at the start of the battle that decays 20% every 15 seconds on attack or minus 10% on defense. It kind of maintains that ratio, right? From P4 through all the way to P10. At P10, you had 100% base Grenadier damage, 500% extra Horde armor at the start of the battle, but that decayed very quickly at 100% every 15 seconds on attack or 50% on defense. So basically, at the very beginning of the fight, Raw's meat shield was very, very powerful, right? They were able to take a lot of damage while those Grenadiers would be tossing out extra attack, and that was good because you wanted them just pumping out the damage. But nowadays things are a bit different and they've updated it, especially since they got rid of the Horde. Like I said, I do like the idea of a Titan being, you know, strong in the beginning and then gradually getting weaker, so therefore it kind of adds some kind of strategy to it to where, like, hey, I'm just going to avoid being attacked while I'm waiting for your armor to go down, and then I go in for the kill. So it definitely made it more of a time waster in that sense, right? It's with 2 minutes or something like that, you're here worrying about just trying to avoid getting hit while the Horde gets weaker, and then you can go in for the kill. Now they've gone completely different now with the brand new Prestige. Let's go ahead and check that one out. So the brand new Prestige is called Divine Radiance. At P10, you're getting 110% base Titan and Grenadier damage and health. So like I said, it'll start lower, obviously, and grow higher as you go through Prestige. So P1 is not going to have these numbers. But I've already kind of covered what gets unlocked as we're going. And you can just see the difference now is definitely about those corrupted Grenadiers and what they're going to do. So it's still based off the meat shield in a sense, like how the last one was, but with the updated meat shield, now your skills synergize better, right? Because now you're buffing just a single unit, well, a single type of unit, which are Grenadiers, because regular Grenadiers and corrupted Grenadiers can utilize the same skill set from relics and the buffing of Grenadiers, period. So that helps a lot. And then you can start pulling out like some of the corrupted Grenadier relics, maybe from like Tarhuns and some of these other guys that have corrupted Grenadiers. They have certain relics that will buff their health and armor and their attacks, so you can make your meat shield stronger if that's something you want, while your regular Grenadiers are dropping just fire, right? Now, once again, you can see I wrote in red here, why the hell is it not armor on P10? Because if they would have made P10 100% Titan and troop armor, dude, it would have changed everything for this Titan in my opinion. Right now, as far as I can tell, looking at just these numbers, Raw is definitely not going to be your meta defender. He'll be a decent island defender and definitely a time waster. I don't see him necessarily getting greens all the time, but more just, hey, making it annoying for someone to hit you and slowing them down so you can retaliate. And with that information in mind, right, looking at all that stuff, you gotta stop and ask yourself, hey, do I want to grind out for this Titan? You know, do I really want to invest my time or money and resources or everything? You have to ask some questions. So these are some questions at least I would ask. Well, I had to ask myself, you know, whether I want to do this or not, and I would hope that these questions help you decide whether or not you want to do this. First question is, how does he stack up against the other meta defenders? Right now we've got Minerva, Kronos, Oceanus, Hyperion, right? Those are definitely going to be your better defenders for if you're looking at your garrison, and heck, even on lands, those guys are monsters, right? Then you gotta say, which defenders do you already have in your personal roster? Not everyone's gonna have a Minerva, Kronos, Oceanus, and Hyperion, right? You might not have any of those, you might only have one or two. What do you got? And are they P10'd? If they're not P10'd, well then, hey, they're not necessarily quote-unquote meta for you right now, right? And all that stuff. So which ones do you have at P10? And then the last question would be, hey, are you actually in need of a variety of defenders, or are you focused on growth at the moment? When I say focused on growth, I mean, are you like a mid-level castle or a low-level castle guy, you know, and you're more focused on trying to just build your castle up? If that's the case, my recommendation is always to focus on just pure attack. You can attack lands faster and gather resources quicker than unless you're getting hit by an entire alliance, quicker than one guy is going to be stripping your castle and garrison of resources. So it's just better to focus on attack, go out there and just steal the resources you need from other lands and other people to build up your castle, buff your troops, all that kind of stuff, until you get to the point where, hey, now I'm kind of at the end game. I want to focus on, you know, having more defenders for my VP lands, so I want to do VP pushes and be part of a team that's going for that stuff. Well, then you need a variety of defenders. Otherwise, you don't. So ask those questions. So once you've asked yourself those questions and you've taken a look at your resources, you know, and you said, you know what, this might actually be worth going for, and you're going to grind it out this weekend, well, hey, let's go ahead and break down that number real fast. What's it going to take to finish this event? If you're free to play and a grinder and a saver, this is what it's going to take. Now, we're going to look at a 1.4 boost Titan. Granted, in this event, it is a 1.5 boost for Nephelinus and Growthorn. But if you're free to play, you might not have those guys. You might not have gone for them. So I'm going to use a 1.4 boost Titan. So hopefully you have one of those. Now, for a 30,000 soul finish plus event, using a 1.4 boost Titan. Using the included relics in the event, there's 8 of them, and we're going to go worst case scenario, so you get a 1-star roll. Using the included gems, there's 4,850 of them and 1,000 portal stones that will be in the reward track that you can use to go towards your grind. That's how we get these numbers. Now, with that, it's going to take a total of 1,951 battles to do this thing at this is a maximum, right? A maximum amount of battles. Hopefully you'll get less by having better rolls on your boost relics. The grind time, if we're looking at a 1-minute turnaround from battle to battle, you're looking at 33 hours. Now, by the time this video's come out, it's a little bit later than usual because the blog was all messed up, so I think it's coming out Friday morning. You got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a little portion of Monday, so that's plenty of time to get 33 hours of grinding in if you want to. Now, it's going to take a mixture of portal stones or gems if you don't have them. You're looking at a maximum of 4,853 portal stones. So you have those saved up. We just had Portal Surge where you're good to go. If you don't have them, well, you're going to have to use gems. So let's say you have 0 portal stones. You're looking at 24,268 gems to get all the portal stones you're going to be needing during the course of this event to grind it out. So that's the last bit of consideration you need to look at. Is this worth doing it? And that brings us pretty much to the end of the video here with our final thoughts, right? Is the grind worth it? Is the grind worth it for the brand new Raw and for acting on arms, right? Going all the way to the end. And that's a question you're going to have to answer for yourself. I highly recommend you ask the questions that I pointed out earlier if you're going to do this. Like I said, this video and most of my videos from this point forward for the game is going to be focused mostly on free to play and the grind. I'm going to probably just focus, and also look at the actual Titan itself, right? Right now you can kind of see there's some gameplay in the background here. I'm going to try and shorten these videos up, I think, in the future, just so we can focus on the meat and potatoes of the event, and just give you that final bit of numbers on the grind. Now, if you guys want a breakdown of, like, you know, all the milestones on grinding and all that stuff like I have in my other videos, I can do that. Comment below and let me know what you guys want the videos to kind of be, you know, with Dawn of Titans. Right now, I am starting to focus on some other games. I've got, you know, Marvel Future Revolution going on. The Star Wars Hunters is really starting to come on fire right now. They just dropped their new trailer. I'll have some videos coming out for that. So, doing all the math does take time. But if you guys really want that, and I get a big, like, you know, push on that in the comment section below, like, say, we want this, we want this, we want this, and all that, and you want more breakdowns on the numbers, let me know. All right, guys, and all that stuff. I definitely want to bring the content that you guys want to see. Because that's the kind of the point of the channel, right? I mean, I'm doing this not just for myself, but I'm doing it for my viewers, who are you guys. And I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the content that you guys are looking for. With that being said, myself personally, final thoughts on this brand new Raw, right? He's kind of lackluster to me. I really don't need more land defenders right now, not from the gameplay I have and where I am in my own personal space when it comes to the game itself right now and what I'm willing to do for a grind. Like, you know, it's not there, not for this. These last slew of Titans and the reskills just aren't really doing it for me. I'm waiting for the new Divine Titans if they come out. Hopefully they do, and all that. And most of you guys know I have a bunch of saved up gems that are just kind of waiting there for those guys. And then, you know, you might see some, you know, fresh breath and blood in me to come out here and do some different kinds of videos and me kind of getting back into it. Right now, it feels like the game's in a holding pattern. Granted, I know they're bringing out new things, but that feeling that I have, and that's how it feels for me playing it, and that's kind of like how my gameplay's matching it right now. I'm just not really pushing, kind of taking a step back and all, and just, you know, just doing my dailies for the most part. But I would love to hear what you guys think. Are you gonna go for the brand new Raw? Are you just looking at this event as I'll do it because I want the 3, you know, prestige food Titans, and they're also going to be for Pantheon relics if I need it, right? You've got yourself Wadjet, you got Tarhuns, and Raw. They're all Pantheon Titans for Pantheon relics. Do you want that 5-star? I don't see why you would with the 8% armor for the skill. If they would have changed that, made that, let's say, 20% armor. Or I was making a suggestion earlier on a Churro stream saying that it would be freaking great if they would have made that activate, that last skill on Acteon's arms, activate on not only the enemy's summons and their corrupted summons, but on your summons as well. Now you're doubling up on that 8%. That 8%, you would get even more. Dude, yeah, now that makes it relevant, especially in the current meta when the attackers are coming with so much freaking armor piercing, so much damage, that it's making defense almost irrelevant unless it's just annoying, right? And we don't have, you know, so, but I do like that they have a variety of defenders and a variety of attackers, so I'm not going to take away from that. I do enjoy that there's more to play with, right? You have a little more fun, and you want to have a bench of attackers to go against these defenders, and that's the way it should be. And I wish they would have done that with Raw. What I don't like about some of these reskills is it feels like they're just bringing these Titans meta adjacent, right? They're the meta, they're close to the meta, but they're not really all the way there. So then it makes it for new players, hey, that's okay. Hey, at least it makes it worthwhile to get these guys, because not only are they needed for your Pantheon collections and all that stuff, but they're somewhat useful, right? It doesn't hurt to invest all that time leveling them up, I guess. But for older players that have some of these guys, and we've already, you know, our resources are focused on the brand new Titans. Well, hey man, the shiny new cars, dude, are the ones doing all the damage for us, or they're the ones guarding our garrisons. So these guys really aren't worth it in that sense. So it's like for me, I just do not see any value in this event for me to do it. My time this weekend will be better spent somewhere else, I feel. But I would love, like I said, once again, guys, comment below. I love it when you guys comment, interact. It helps me to see what you guys like. I love talking to you guys, answering questions, and just sharing opinions. Like it, love it, hate it, whatever, man. It helps out a lot. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to showing you guys this Marvel Future Revolutions. It's a fun game. Definitely want to show you guys how that plays, and I cannot wait to show you guys the new trailer and the breakdown of the new Star Wars Hunters game coming out. There is some really cool stuff there and a lot of things I want to break down, so I'm making a lot of videos on that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, guys, so that's great. Thank you so much. This video ended up being way longer than I intended it to be. I was trying to keep it under 20 minutes, and now it's at 25, almost on 26. So I'm gonna head out. I gotta do my dailies on the game and get back to Future Revolution over here and do a bunch of other videos this weekend. Got my work cut out for me, so you guys definitely stay tuned. Got a bunch of stuff dropping. I hope you guys like it. And hey, this is Darshigong, and as always, I hope to catch you gaming on the dark side.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night